She said she was selling double glazing. I don't know, I didn't answer the door. Best not to nowadays. But I watched her go to Agnes's. Poor Agnes. She let her right into her house. I could only see the silhouette. It turned from a person into it looked like, I guess you'd call it a Medusa. Snakes for her face. And Agnes just fell to the floor. A few minutes later, the woman left, smiling like the cat that got the cream. That was the end of Agnes. I saw it with my own eyes. What more proof do I need? You're starting to sound like Dr. Dekker. He didn't believe me either. I didn't have much luck with him, like I said. He didn't believe me. He thought I was having a hallucination caused by the stress of my neighbour being so brutally murdered. Where is Agnes, though? I haven't found her, have they? Have they? What? That can't be possible. Is that true? Why don't I know about it then? When was this then? Is she alive? Her useless husband is? Don't know much about him, other than the fact that he looks at me like I'm 6 foot under every time we meet. He doesn't seem too bothered she's gone missing either. He did at first, when the police were crawling around. But now they've gone, that's stopped. If I hadn't seen that thing eat her, I'd... No. He's a weaselly little man who spends far too much time in his garden. It's probably like the National Trust back there. The constant digging and building, pruning and sawing. What a thing to say! Why would you say that? I kept watching the front door after that saleswoman had left and nothing. She didn't leave, and you can't get out the back since the council sold the garage block. Ron's a gardener, not a killer. Unless... Agnes said Ron was laying the foundations for a new greenhouse. You don't think... I need to call the police. I need to call them now. But they won't listen to me. I tried to tell them about the monster, but they didn't believe me. They won't believe me about this, I promise you. Please, could you call them, Doctor? Thank you, Doctor. Now give me a pen and I'll write down the details for you. Don't you want to know why Dr. Dekker called me the leech lady? He said that I leech thoughts from people, suck them right out of their heads. And I can put thoughts in there too. I'm not that clever though, am I, Doctor? I mean, it's not as if I was having an affair with Ron and Agnes was in the way and needed to disappear. So I made this story up. I mean, what do you think I do for a living anyway? Doctor, you're so good. We're going to get on just fine. was at Henley Church. They had a service that ran right up till midnight. For us less fortunates without a love in their life. Well, now. Do you have someone, Doctor? Do you have a love in your life? Garden club. You should come with me one night. It's a lovely way to meet new people.
Hey you, thanks for helping me with this grief thing. I'm not sure I have it though. Oh, I don't really know where to start. I feel a bit numb. Maybe we should just talk about him. It hadn't even been a year. He was a quiet, solitary man. A good listener, as I suppose you'd need to be. His confidence did grow as time wore on, but that's what you'd expect after you've fitted in. I mainly miss our chats. He used to work late with me and tell me things about the patients, things that I probably shouldn't have heard, but did. What do you think of the patients? Nah, perhaps you shouldn't say. You can ask me. Go on, I'll tell you what I think. We'd work late together on all sorts of things. He was preoccupied with finding patterns in patients, trying to find some kind of order. Mainly he was searching for a common experience the patients might have had. That's what led them to his office. He'd study everything, even the referral letters. Yes, letters, parking tickets, holiday destinations. You know, I find those referral letters, he was sure there was a pattern in them. Mariana is a special girl. You know, there's something about her that just makes you want to follow her. Maybe that's what a trendsetter looks like. I think Bryce has a lot of misdirected anger. I don't think I like him that much. You know, sometimes when things overrun, he's outside waiting for you and he stares at me as if he's undressing me with his eyes. You know, he's not the first person that's done that, but still, you know, it feels worse coming from him. Claire seems to be shaken by something. You know, I offer her drinks every time she comes in, but she always refuses them. It's as if she just wants to come in, get her session over with, and then run off to do something else. It's a bit rude, isn't it? Elin seems like a lovely person. I'm not really sure why she's here. Oh, I just want to cuddle Nathan all up. He's such a mess. He's always in the same clothes. You know, he barely talks to me though. It's the same hello every time. He reminds me of Tom. Tom was a quiet mess, like Nathan. Youngish, in his early 20s. He taught piano, but he did have a strange hobby. Tom liked to base jump. That's basically falling from a huge building or mountain and pulling your parachute before you hit the ground. He started to think he could fly. Dr. Dekker tried to talk him out of it, but Tom had to prove his point. So one day, Tom decided to base jump without a parachute. Can you guess what happened? He did die. He was hit by a rock from further up the mountain. He never got to fly. Nathan thinks he knows what his problem is too, but if he's not careful, he'll get hit by that rock. I wish I'd said goodbye. I wish I'd said goodbye to Dr. Dekker. It was so sudden. Here, then gone. He resigned anyway, but that's not the same, is it? Dr. Dekker resigned shortly before his murder. It's sad, but doctors come and go and only poor Jaya remains. I've got his resignation letter somewhere. I do all the hiring and firing around here. Well, Professor Alderby and the Trust technically do that. Professor Alderby is a trustee. Did I not mention that? On Valentine's Day, Dr. Dekker had a session with Claire Castleford at 11 and that nurse Elin at 3. Everyone else cancelled. You should see this place Christmas Eve. I was at home though, so I don't actually know who came in. Dr. Dekker did phone and ask me for Nathan's number, which is a bit strange. She was cuddling him like he was 6. He's 25. Most of the patients are suspects according to the police. Almost all the patients are referred, and some of them are privates, but Dr. Dekker didn't introduce any of them. So you watched the tapes. Gold star for you. It smashed.